Hey everyone, Jack here with Strongfordent, and as you can see today we're talking about getting your first muscle up, which for those of you who don't know is what I'm performing in the video here. It's basically a pull up into a dip in one transition. And we're going to just be laying down some of the fundamental ways you can build up to doing your first one. I should note that being able to do pull-ups and dips is obviously a prerequisite to some extent. So you'll see here the first stage. What I'm doing is showing you that you need to be at a bar where you can get on your tiptoes to reach up to the bar. Now, if you can't do that at the bar you've got, put a step-up box or some kind of box, block, whatever it is underneath so that you can get up onto your tiptoes whilst grabbing hold of the bar. You don't want to just be hanging off the bar when you're first starting, like I'm showing you here, where you're just kind of flailing around and all loose. That's not going to be a very useful tool for you when you're trying to get your first muscle up. So, the first step here, once we get up onto our tiptoes, at the bar is basically just a jump up. Like, not perform a pull-up, I just want you to jump up so you get on top of the bar. Because what this is going to do is just get you used to the feeling of being on top of the bar, get your wrists used to being on top of the bar, and then start to perform some small range of motion dips whilst you're on there. And you'll notice that when I show you the next stage on the lower bar is you'll see the gap that my legs have created between my body and my hips so that you can actively dip down without banging anything. If you're a guy, this is going to be particularly important. So, as you can see there, my dips today weren't particularly deep. My shoulder was feeling a little bit rough, and so I didn't want to hurt myself, but at the same time, I did say I'd film this video. So, the next stage, you're going to get back up into that dip position, and I want you to really jump up again. Don't perform the pull-up, just jump up, and then lower yourself down like we just did, as low as you can, and actually lower yourself down into the pull-up this time too, like so. Okay, so you want to try and do this as slowly as possible. This actually is one of my weaker areas right now, transitioning from the dip down into the pull-up slowly. Obviously I'm still able to do muscle-ups, but if I can tighten this up, it's going to make the whole thing smoother. And one of the reasons we want to go from starting from this position and reversing the motion is because if you can reverse this motion, it's going to very much help you when it comes to getting your first muscle up on the bar. So doing it in the reverse order for the muscle up tends to work very, very well. And so again, I'm just going to demonstrate this jumping up and slowly lowering ourselves down as slow as possible. Like I say, today my shoulder was feeling a bit iffy and this is not my strongest area. So, as you can see, my dog is saying hello there, Polo. He came with me today. It was a beautiful day out, and there's obviously a kid swinging there as well. So the next step, once we've done that, is from the tiptoe position again. Always try from the tiptoe position. Is to do a leg raise, and then pull yourself up. This is kind of like a kip, but not to such an extreme extent. I got this from Adam T. Glass, and I think it's a great way of just getting over the bar whilst performing a little bit of a pull-up too. It's not like jumping up, because you've got that leg raising, you're still using a lot of your lats and back. And this one here, I don't actually get all the way on top of the bar. I'm not really sure why, but it's actually quite useful because it shows you how high you can get your shoulders over the bar with this leg raise. And I think the transition from dip to pull-up is the hardest thing for most people, and this leg raise one will really help you achieve that. I find that very, very useful and a useful tool. Now, coming in to the next stage, what we're actually looking to do here is start to perform full muscle-ups. And the best way of performing multiple repetitions during these is to jump up, get on top of the bar, and then let momentum bring you down. And because you've got that momentum, you tend to be able to get back up over the bar. And that is how I started to get multiple reps of muscle-ups in. So use the leg raise idea from the previous clip to get your first muscle-up in. And then once you've done that, once you've got on top of the bar, one of the best ways to continue to get multiple reps in is to perform them by jumping up initially, getting on top of the bar, and then the momentum carry you on. I'm just going to finish off here, but I think that this is a very, very basic video on how you can get your first muscle up, and then how you can even possibly add some reps in once you've got the first one. So follow the progressions I lay out in here, use the leg raise technique to try and get your first one, and use the momentum technique at the end here to try and get multiple reps.